Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo Master Nightfall run, Broodhold, with Warlock. For my subclass, I'll be using the Stormcaller Middle Tree, Chaos Reach. For my kinetic, I'll be using the 7 Seraph Officer Revolver. Next, I'll be using the Arc Pulse Rifle with backup mag. And of course, I'll be using Xenophage. For my DPS. For my helmet, I'll be using double machine gun ammo finder with warmind's protection. Next, I'll be using discipline mod unstoppable hand cannon with anti-barrier pulse rifle and rage of the warmind. Next, I'll be using 10 recovery, machine gun reserves, arc damage resistance, and global rage. Next, I'll be using Geomax stabilizers with machine gun scavenger, fireteam medic, and recovery plus 10. Next, I'll be using 5 discipline mod, bomber, spoils award to get some heavy, and wrath of Rasputin. So I'm pretty sure everyone's really excited of reading the TWAB from yesterday from Bungie. Yep, really excited for it. Such a sarcastic tone I'm really showing. So, anyway, we're gonna pass through the ads. Sometimes there are wizards or ogres, so if there is an ogre, just stun it with your kinetic weapon and quickly just run by and skip it. So since we're going to use Xenophage, we're going to deal with the champions from long distance, which can be very, very easy. So sometimes this champion over here can hide under the pit, or it could be floating around and spawning from the mini bridge. So here I decided to take it out quickly, and then hopefully I can get a warmind cell and then clear down the ads. So there are 2 unstoppables, and it's a little RNG of how they move. Sometimes the first champion you can see over there, sometimes he likes to stand from the left side, or it likes to be a troll and bug you and just wants to give you a hard time, and it will back away with the second unstoppable champion, which it can happen many times and it can be a little frustrating. What I like to do is just take down the first unstoppable champion, and then I'll be using my finisher since we have Spoils Award to get more ammo back. Now the beauty of using Xenophage is it's easy to take down and clear down the ads. The cons about using Xenophage is it wouldn't be really too good at the boss fight. So yes, pros and cons. Actually, the linear fusion rifle is stronger with the boss than Xenophage. I'm not even joking, I'm serious. And you'll definitely see the DPS damage I use for the boss with Xeno. It was around over 55k for critical hit, and for Xeno, I'm trying to remember right now, I think it's 13 to 18k. We'll be seeing how much DPS it does for the wizard very soon. So of course we're gonna deal with a couple of ads. I like to first just shoot my warmind cell and just clear them out very quickly. Then we're gonna proceed to the next area. So there's like 3 little tunnels, and it all depends on which one you want to go. For me, I like to go over here, and of course I heard a warmind cell and I decided to shoot it, and it took down the curse thralls. Well, 2 of them, not 2 of them as you can see, there are around 4 of them. Now there's going to be another waves of red bars, or red ads I like to call them, or thralls, and what I like to do is of course just make a warmind cell and basically just focus on my kinetic weapon to make warmind cells and only use my pulse rifle for barrier champions or long distance snipers and ads that are dangerous. So I'll be using my finisher over here. And we're gonna be opening the door. So usually I do that. So now there's gonna be 4 champions, and I like to first make a warmind cell. And you can see that sometimes these throws are buggy. They can lag and try to melee you at the face. Now for Grandmaster, I would highly recommend to play very distance, because those little melee attacks from thralls can damage you very greatly. Now I was just trying to make sure all the snipers are down. Reason why is because if you're gonna try to do DPS on a barrier champion, then the sniper will kill you and the run will be a wipe. So now I was just trying to use my finisher again, because I need heavy for Xenophage. And of course I had to be reloading my Xeno since we're on Warlock. If on Hunter, I can use Marksman's Dodge and just reload my ammo just by dodging it. So there is another champion up ahead, and I like to take it down and try to use my finisher. If you do get too close, a bunch of thralls will push you. So I like to quickly use my finisher and then pull back a bit. So you can see here, these thralls love to push towards you, especially when trying to use your finisher on the barrier champion. Now there was supposed to be another champion, but for some reason they replaced it with a knight over here. Because I remember last season or 2 seasons ago, I had to deal with the barrier champion. But for some reason they changed it, and there is a lot of things they changed. I have mentioned in my legend video, but a lot of things have changed, especially with the worms where 30 seconds. And before it was 15 seconds. It was not 30 seconds before to hold the worm. It was definitely around 15. There's going to be 2 solar wizards. I like to take them down quickly. And that's the beauty of using Xenophage. Xenophage, you could just literally kill the wizards that are the most annoying. And you could also take down the unstoppable champion, which we will see very soon, from long distance, and you don't have to risk your life to take it down. And another thing I like about using Xenophage in this Nightfall is, of course, you can make warmind cells. And you could take down this barrier champion by long distance. When you do kill the champions where they spawn the worms of death, and the reason why I call them the worms of death is because they can kill you if you are low on health, and for Grandmaster version, it is a one-shot. So when killing down the barrier champions that spawn worms, there will be a wave of ads. For me, what I like to do is clear down all the barrier champions that will spawn the worms, and of course, all of it. Then I pick up the worms to make the boss appear. Now this unstoppable champion, I really hate this one because I've been trying to get a Titan run video, and this unstoppable champion is so freaking buggy. I am not kidding. There are times where this champion will walk from the left side. You see the opening from the right side? Yes, this this unstoppable champion will walk up and sneak up and try to kill you. And for some reason, this footage, it likes to stand there. But there are other times where the unstoppable champion likes to pull back all the way in the back, all the way over there. You can see right there. And it just stands there, and then it just walks all the way from the right side where you can't really see where it is. And it can be so annoying. We took down the barrier champion with Xenophage, and there will be another waves of ads spawning, and you can take them down. And of course use warmind cell. Reason why the ads are glowing is because I use warmind protection. And I'll be talking more soon about the Void, warmind cell mods, and Arc very soon. I've been just trying to work on the Titan run, and hopefully I can get that done. Or until Monday, all depends. So there's going to be 2 barrier champions. One we see right now, and one in the back where 2 Arcanites are guarding their life, which will make your life hell. Especially on Grandmaster version. I like to first take down this barrier champion from a long distance since I'm using Xenophage. If I was using a close range weapon, then I have to go behind a rock or close by where the Arcanites cannot hit me. So once I reload all my weapons, I like to take down the last barrier champion. And because we're using Xenophage, and highly recommend you use Xenophage, by the way, you can take down the barrier champion without any of these Arcanites bothering you and messing up your DPS. And that's most likely what I did for this run. And of course, if you are Arcstrider Hunter, you can just take down the barrier champion without using a barrier weapon to stagger it. Now, because the barrier spawns worms of death, there will be a wave of ads pushing towards you, and you can just back away from this hill and then just use your warmind cell. Another thing I like to say is I normally don't use my pulse rifle a lot, mainly my kinetic weapon, because it can make warmind cells, and to be honest, it's more powerful than the pulse rifle. So you can see here that I'm trying to take down this knight, and I am having a hard time with it. So if I had major spec, then this Arcanite wouldn't be a problem. But you can see here that I put backup mag, and it's not really effective with these Arcanites. And the reason why I want to show you this is to let you know what putting major spec is better, and it makes a huge difference, especially for Nightfalls like Scarlet Keep. And we see these guys all the time at the boss fight. You always want to take them down quickly, and you can see here I'm using over 100 bullets on the Arcanites, and it's not working out too well. So of course I ran out of Xeno, unfortunately, and that's another bad thing about using Xenophage. When using Xenophage, you need to save your heavy, especially for the boss fight and doing DPS on champions. Now the thing about using Xenophage is it's good for the Nightfall, it's good for the champions, but it's not too good for the boss fight because you can't really use your Xenophage at all to do some DPS at the boss fight until the 3rd phase-ish, you know? And it can be really tough, and of course the champions, which I like to mention as well. So yeah, I'm actually taking like a minute and a half trying to kill this Arcanite. So it can be a bit annoying and irritating. But hey, we got the Arcanite dead. We took it down, and we can finally collect all these worms of death. And then we can make the boss spawn. Now in this video, I did not go all the way from the top left side, the safe spot. I went the other method, but to be honest, the one where you go on the far left side, which you saw my hunter, is safer than the one where I'm going. So these worms can kill you if the time limit is to 0. If the timer is to 0. So because I tagged the knight, we can finally do some DPS at the boss. Now I was trying to save my Xenophage and thought maybe I'll just use my kinetic. Now the bad thing about using this little mini hiding spot is the boss can still shoot fire at you even though you're behind a wall. And of course I decided to use my super and of course cancel it, just to make the boss escape and we can proceed to the next area. So now we're going to go to the next area, and the points will be to 0 for a little while. It's really no big deal, to be honest. Now there's going to be a bug with this unstoppable champion, which I really hate. So you have to stagger it 2 times because the unstoppable champion will not be staggered and it will push and kill you. And in this video I'm not wearing any void resistance, which I wish I did. But unfortunately, I think I didn't have a good stat roll with my void. With my void chest plate, and decided just to put arc resistance instead. If you do ever have a good void chest armor, then just use it for the void resistance, because for the boss fight, she's gonna be shooting a lot of void. And for this Nightfall, the void is greatly damaged for this Nightfall. So of course, we're gonna take down the Shrieker. What I like to do is just push, since everything is safe. It's just a couple of ads that are gonna push or not push. And the one things I will worry a lot is these acolytes. These snipers are very dangerous. They can 3-shot you. If 3 of them shoot you at the same time, all 3 with full health, it's a wipe. So if you look over there, there is a Shrieker. And I don't know how it is on PS5, but on PS4 it's really hard to see. It's very foggy. So I have no idea if on PS5 version you can see it clearly, but on PS4 I really can't see it well. And even right now as I'm talking, I still can't see it too well. Now, like I said in my legend video, they did change a lot for this Nightfall. There's supposed to be a couple of ads pushing through that door, like a lot, like over like 20, 25 ads, or you know, and they changed it. So for this season, there won't be any 25 ads pushing towards you. Like an angry mob, like a riot, you know. I guess it could be a good or bad thing, but for Legend it could be a bad thing because you need 100k, you know, and it's hard to get 100k for Legend for this version. So there's gonna be 2 barrier champions, and this is the part where things can get a bit tough. So there are many ways to do this, to deal with the barrier champions. Here I just wanted to try to take down the barrier champion from long distance, but it wasn't working out. The barrier champion's actually smart in this Nightfall, and they're going to back away and take cover. So what I like to do is first take down this barrier champion, and of course pop a healing rift. Once I do, I use my super to quickly take it down. Then I cancel it and take down the last barrier champion. Not the last, but the last champion for this room, you know? So once I do, we're going to proceed to the next area where we're going to deal with the Dark Wizard, or the Shadow Wizard. Which everyone hates, and I hate the wizard. Let's be honest, no one likes the Void Wizard. We're gonna be dealing with it very soon, and honestly I am not looking forward to it. But hey, we're using Xeno, so it wouldn't be too bad. But then again, a DPS with Xenophage on the boss fight can be a little frustrating. And like I said before, pros and cons of using Xenophage. It'll be easier to take down the champions, the ads, but then the boss fight can be a little frustrating, a little bit. So sadly, we're going to deal with the Void Wizard. And what I like to do is just shoot a couple of shots, and you can see it's around 15k with Xenophage. Compared with linear fusion rifle, it is over 50 or 55k. So yeah, and of course you can use higher energy fire, but to be honest, using warmind cell build just makes this Nightfall much more easier than using higher energy fire build. So we're gonna deal with the 2 unstoppable champions and a wave of adds. So of course my aim assist was in the way and I had to back up. So I decided to go behind this rock, and they seem to behave very weird. They seem to back up. I don't know why. Maybe they're scared of the rock because it looks kind of awkward for them. And for some reason they're pulling back, and I was happy with it. And of course sometimes they can go behind. They can push towards you, but they seem to pull back here and there, which is good. And the unstoppable champions seem to not be aggressive to shoot you. Now, if I remember last season, these champions do shoot even though you're behind that rock or a little far away. But for this season, they seem to shoot, but they're not pushing towards you aggressively, which can be good, so I could take advantage of that. And of course my birds are singing. Yeah, sorry about that. My birds are happy. Now what I like to do is first take down the first unstoppable champion with Xenophage. And you can see that I am slowly running out of Xeno. And it could be a big problem, especially when we're going to deal with more champions at the boss fight. But hey, we have our super, so we can deal with the champions with our super. But sadly, when using our super, you must stagger the barrier champion, then use your super. Using just your super without stagger, it will regain its health and pop its shield. Once the unstoppable champion is on tiny health, I decided to try to use finisher, and I am just taking my time hiding behind those walls, and going to use my finisher to get some heavy back. So now there's going to be another barrier champion. And what I like to do is first clear down the adds, and of course just pull back to the right side, to the left side I mean. And we're going to deal with a couple of adds, and of course the barrier champion. Now this barrier champion can go a bit aggressive, so I highly recommend to just hide behind a little wall from the left side, and you can see it almost killed me. And always pop a healing rift. Since on Warlock we could take advantage of the healing abilities. So once I take down the barrier champion, I like to take down a couple of adds. First I reload. The ammo for Xenophage isn't looking too good. I would say middle status. So in this footage I decided not to use my Xenophage too much for this run. And now we're going to deal with the boss. The solar boss, the light boss. So this boss likes to cast the Nova Glaze, where it can one-shot you in Master and Grandmaster mode. This boss doesn't seem to push when going behind this wall, but sometimes it does, and if it does, just move to the left side and it'll go back to his little safe spot as you can see here. So I decided to use my super and then just do some DPS. if you do DPS at the boss, like you saw there, you can skip ads. So it could be a good or a bad thing, you know? And of course, we're going to be dealing with another wave of ads with the acolytes, where they like to shoot fire at you very accurately. And it could be very dangerous, so highly recommend to be careful. And in this video, I didn't use concussive dampener, and if I did, then they wouldn't really hurt me too bad, these fire attacks from acolytes. So now what I like to do is just try my best to clear down the ads, and then once I do, I'll be dealing with the void boss. So I'm just going around the map, around in circles, and trying to take down these acolytes that are always hugging the boss. Once I do, I'm going to deal with the barrier champion very soon. So this boss likes to spawn the circle void of death, which it can one-shot you. When I do see the void, especially on the bottom screen where it turns all purple, I quickly jump and try to avoid it as much as I can. That way I won't die, and I really don't want to start all over again with this run with Warlock, let's be honest. That way I won't get killed from the void circle of death. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm going to DPS the boss a bit. That way a barrier champion will appear and I can take it down. So there are around 2 barrier champions. And dealing with the champions at the boss fight can be very frustrating, especially with dealing with the void boss. Now over here I'm trying to use a warmind cell to quickly take down the ads, but I always have to be careful of where the boss is, because the boss loves to stomp and it can follow you. And of course this could be a bit frustrating, especially when using Xenophage, where this boss will interrupt you trying to DPS the boss. So what I have to do is try to clear down as much ads as I can and then take down the barrier champion. And you can see here, I was being a little reckless and I just wanted to kill the barrier champion quickly. So yeah, it could be dangerous, especially using Chaos Reach. So once I did take down the barrier champion, I pull back. And I decided to run around in circles again, do DPS at the boss, because we're going to be dealing with another wave of ads. So in this footage, what I decided to do is save for my super for the next final boss phase. We're gonna have another barrier champion, and like I said before, guys, if you kill the solar wizard first, a barrier champion will spawn. If you kill the void, the dark wizard, then unstoppable champion will spawn from the left side. And trust me guys, you don't want to deal with unstoppable champion at this boss fight. There's no room to hide, and unstoppable champion is very aggressive. I wouldn't recommend to kill it, maybe on hunter, but honestly I just wouldn't want to deal with it. So has everyone read the TWAB from yesterday? I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a bit disappointed and I'm not really happy of the reissue weapons. Like, I'll be honest with you, it's Like, why are we regrinding old weapons that I have already done 2 years ago with Forsaken at Dreaming City with the armor and the weapons? And then the moon, which I despise I despise the planet because it is really boring and I always fall asleep. And my whole clan always has to wake me up because I just cannot stand the moon. And I had to regrind the weapons again. And I already did that last year. Not only that, we're gonna be having Legend and Master Lost sectors. I wouldn't be surprised if all the veteran players move to a different game. I honestly wouldn't be surprised because this is really, really bad, you know. Alright guys, I'll be doing a time skip to get my super back. Alright guys, so I ran around the map, wait for my super, and of course I'm just doing DPS of the boss. Once you do DPS at the boss, especially close to a third, the boss will split in two and we're going to deal with the solar and the void boss. So what I like to do is quickly take down the solar wizard as fast as I can, because trust me, we do not want to deal with it. Don't want to deal with two wizards running around in the map, spamming their Nova Glaze, and spamming the Void Circle of Death at the same time. Can you imagine you're trying to take cover from Nova Glaze, and then there's a Void Circle behind where you're trying to hide from the one shot from the Nova Glaze, and then you just die? Yeah, we don't want that to happen. So, of course, now I'm trying to take down the Solar and the Solar boss. So now I'm just trying to take down the Solar boss, and then I'm pulling back from all the way from the left side. So there's gonna be one Arc Knight running around, and of course a barrier champion. Once you kill the Solar wizard, the Void boss doesn't seem to push towards you, especially towards the hiding spot. It's going to back away, and it's gonna hang around with the ads, which is good, because you don't really have to run around in circles, right? I would recommend to kill this barrier champion because this barrier champion does like to push. Especially the ads. The ads do push towards you, especially the hiding spot. And that's why I'm trying to clear down all the ads, especially the Arc Knights too. So now this is the most annoying part of the boss fight. We're trying to find a good angle to take down the barrier champion. And it can be really tough. You know, Stasis Warlock would be the easiest, to be honest, because you could just take down the barrier champion quickly and freeze the boss, etc, etc. So now what I'm trying to do is trying to find a barrier champion, and at the same time avoiding the void circle. So this could be really, really annoying and very tough to do. So I just wanted to show an example of how annoying it could be using Xenophage. And I only have 9 left, so I was trying to save it. And I was trying to stagger the barrier champion. And then when I'm trying to stagger it, the void boss like, not today, Blitz. Nope. Does the void circle of death, and then I cannot do DPS at the barrier champion. I can't stagger it. And then I have to start all over, and it could be so frustrating. Anyway, I just want to show you an example of why using Xenophage is not really good at the boss fight. I mean, it's okay, but it's not good. Maybe with a good super. Yeah, okay. So I decided to take down the Arc Knight because it is shooting far away, all the way from my hiding spot. and it was not fun. So I finally stagger the barrier champion, and once I kill a champion, I decided to do DPS with my super, the void boss. So you can see how annoying this boss fight is. And seriously, is a barrier champion really worth it? Sometimes I feel like I just want to skip the barrier champion. I honestly don't like the barrier champion, the last one for this boss fight, because it just likes to follow around the boss. It's just so annoying. And sometimes I feel like it's not worth getting platinum in this Nightfall with the last barrier champion. It can be really annoying. So because I don't have any heavy, unfortunately, I have to use my kinetic weapon to do DPS at the void boss. And of course, gonna be spamming a lot of void circles of death on me. So I'll be dealing with this. I'll be killing this boss very soon. And I was running around in circles again, trying to see if I could find some heavy. Then I saw some heavy. I was like, oh wait, I see some heavy. You know, and I'm gonna try to get it. So I waited for the boss to use his void. And once he does, I grabbed some heavy and I got the hell out of there. I quickly went all the way to my little safe spot to reload my Xeno. And quickly just use all my ammo. So once I do DPS, and you can see it's like around 15k per hit, finally I took down the boss. And there you go, guys. We got Platinum 2. You know, the last barrier champion was very annoying. And we got Geomax stabilizers. And it went to the postmaster. Wow. Isn't that funny? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.